Today, we're going to break down a really high-stakes tactical problem. We're going to see how what looks like an impossible military challenge gets turned into this incredible lesson in creative, data-driven problem-solving. So let's just dive right in with the core problem here. It all boils down to one word: impossible. You've got a team, they're trapped, and they're facing a barrier that seems, well, physically and technologically impassable. And we're not just talking about a puzzle here. This is life or death. If they fail, that's it. Game over. All right, so what makes this wall so tough? Before we can even think about a solution, we've got to understand the sheer scale of the problem they're up against.
Okay, it really comes down to what this thing is made of. We're talking about tungsten, one of the strongest, densest metals we know of. And it's coated with an even tougher layer of titanium nitride. Now, a combo like that, on this kind of massive scale, nobody had ever seen it before. So, of course, everyone made a perfectly logical assumption, which turned out to be dead wrong. They thought the gate was just one solid, invincible block of metal.
But what if that core assumption is just plain wrong? See, a single piece of new intel, a really detailed scan from an AI called Damont, is about to come in and change, well, absolutely everything. For any plan to even have a chance, the team's entire understanding of the obstacle had to be completely shattered. They needed to stop seeing a solid wall and start looking for something else, a hidden structure. I mean, literally, their lives depended on it.
And this slide just lays it out perfectly. This is the turning point. On one side, you have the assumption that kept them trapped, and on the other, you have the reality that Damont's scan revealed. The gate isn't solid. It's hollow and complex. And just like that, the impossible problem suddenly has a weakness.
Right, so that's the big question, isn't it? The one everyone on the team, and probably you too, is asking. The reveal is a huge shock, for sure. But now they've got to move past the shock and get to the strategy. It's time to dig into the numbers.
Okay, so let's get into the analysis. This is where we see how raw data turns a tactical nightmare into a solvable engineering puzzle. Honestly, this is where the real magic happens.
Get this, 2%. That one single, shocking number changes the entire game. Only 2% of the gate's entire composition is actually that super strong tungsten steel plating. Boom. The myth of the solid, invincible gate, it's just gone. So Damont's data basically gives them the blueprint to exploit this weakness. You can see from this breakdown it's a layered, hollow thing, kind of like a sandwich, right? You've got a thin 2mm tungsten plating over a much thicker steel frame. So no, it's not a solid block of tungsten. But look at that weight, over 36,000 pounds. This thing is still an absolute monster, it's just not an invincible one. And the scans go deeper. They reveal this internal skeleton. You can see welds, crossbeams, massive rods running all through it. This isn't just random junk inside. This is engineering. It points to some kind of complex lifting mechanism. And more importantly, it shows them exactly where the weak points are. And this is the big aha moment, the crucial takeaway. By proving the gate is hollow, that it actually obeys the laws of physics, the team leader, Benedictus, has this huge realization. They don't have to destroy an indestructible wall, they just have to break a machine. And you know what? Machines can be broken. The whole problem just got reframed. So with this brand new way of looking at the problem, a daring new plan comes together. One that uses all this new knowledge. They call it Operation Gate Stop. Okay, so check out this plan. It is a total high-risk, high-reward play. They're not going to try and blow the gate up. No way. They're going to weld it open from the inside. The whole thing hinges on precision, speed, and basically using the gate's own machinery against itself. Pretty clever, huh? And notice they're not just using brute force here. They're using something they already have, the train, as a precision tool. This is not a battering ram. I mean, look at that entry speed. Less than 1 mile per hour. This is a delicate, almost surgical operation. They're just going to use the train's huge frame to prop the gate open, just enough for the welders to get inside and do their work. But, a plan is only as good as the time you have to actually pull it off. And that brings us to the final and maybe the most critical piece of the puzzle. The clock is ticking. Turns out, the data revealed one more crucial detail. The gate has an auto-close sequence. It's not going to stay open for them forever. So now they have a hard deadline. And you can see here, depending on exactly how they position the train, their window to get the job done, it shrinks fast. And it all boils down to this. 13.1 minutes. That's the worst case scenario.
The absolute minimum time they might have. Think about that. A small team, a little over 13 minutes to deploy, get in position, and weld a 36,000-pound machine open for good. There is absolutely zero room for error.
So, the data gave them a path. It turned an impossible wall into a breakable machine. And honestly, that's a powerful lesson that goes way beyond this kind of scenario, right? So often, the biggest problems we face seem impossible, just because of the assumptions we start with. But if you can challenge those assumptions, find the machine inside the wall, the system behind the problem, you can usually find a way to break it. So the data has given them a shot, but the question remains, will this tiny window of hope be enough to turn a brilliant plan into a real victory?